The sun in Aries in the birth chart presents this individual who is highly assertive, highly independent, highly individualistic, and wanting to be their authentic selves and be bold and courageous and independent. They want to do things their own way, they want to blaze their own trails, and they don't want to be told what to do. That's for sure and certain. Now, I have a sun in Aries in my natal birth chart. I was born right in the middle of Aries season, and so I think it would be remiss if I didn't do an episode on this podcast discussing my sun in Aries, so here it is. This is the last episode before I take a break for, a day because of a family thing, health-related issue. But I will be back later, for more astrology. Several astrological events collected through the signs, so tune for that. But anyway, these episodes are primarily for YouTube from now on. I will post them on Spotify, and if they get posted, then great. If one doesn't get posted, but then the others come after that, then great. I'm just not going to bother with it anymore as of the point that I'm making this. Who knows, my mind may change or whatever, but as of the point, at the time of doing this, it's not worth the mental anguish, the mental anxiety with caring so much about if it publishes or if it doesn't at this point. Because for the past several recordings, I've been really, really affected by this anxiety that I've been having throughout these videos, that I've been, feeling like there was something holding me back from really, really being free. And, it may be there for a long time. I mean, Pluto's retrograde. Pluto's really, really impacting me right now with a lot of things. And so, I will release an episode and it will just go out into the universe, and it may or may not get posted. Help is always available, but I've just decided, it's not worth my mental anguish to obsess over. So, anyway, delving right in, this may be a shorter episode today. Let's get into the sun in Aries. So the sun in Aries is between the dates of March 20th through April 19th. March 20th is World Astrology Day. When the world celebrates astrology, when the astrological new year officially begins again. It starts again. The sun enters Aries. It's a new year. It's a new, fresh beginning, and everybody's celebrating and everybody's welcoming in spring. It's Ostara in the Northern Hemisphere. It's spring in the Northern Hemisphere. And Aries brings this fresh energy into it. It brings this energy of spring, where the flowers come up. The birds are singing. All the bright colors are coming up, and the world is getting reactivated and reinvigorated again at this time of year. It's a sacred time of year where we start again, and we look at going back out into the world, making this happen, actually pursuing our goals. And so, actually, here's what I'm going to say. New Year's resolutions, save those until March 20th. Don't worry about New Year's resolutions January 1st. Wait till around the 20th of March, the 21st of March, to set those New Year's resolutions for that new year, and continue those New Year's resolutions into January of the next year. So the new year, and actually the Persian New Year begins around March 20th, and I like the Persians. I was hearing a video about that, and I agree with them, because it's like, it starts at that time, and it's so great. It's great. It really, really is. That Aries season begins in the spring, and opposite that is Libra in the fall. So Aries is one of the cardinal signs. It's the cardinal fire sign. It gets things going, gets the spark going. It really starts the conversation. It lights the match for all the other signs to follow. It's the fire starter. It initiates. It's courageous. It's assertive. So, I'm going to discuss the Sun and Aries qualities in this video, and a lot of these I relate to as somebody, although I'm a more Cancerian version of an Aries because my Sun is in the 4th house. And it is at the bottom part of my chart, and then my moon is toward the top of my chart. Very, very interesting, isn't it? Because you think it'd be the opposite. So my chart is really interesting in that way, and in the home life, and in my home, and, you know, doing these videos at home. You know, and to my family, I am very, very Aries, assertive, courageous, you know, daring, all those kind of things like that. Like that's who I am in that kind of environment. So, you know, delving right into this, you know, these things, you know, going on here. Let's just start out right at the beginning. So, all right. So, the thing is, we don't know the future. The future is just unknown. We have to surrender to the fact that it's going to be what it's going to be. So, if I do these videos and more insecurities come up, I will just push through the insecurities and just keep doing my thing unapologetically. And just be in the moment. And, like, Aries is in the moment. It's very, very present moment oriented. It's very future moment oriented. It's a very positive sign. As well as Leo and Sagittarius, the other 2 fire signs. So let's dive right in to the Sun in Aries. You're very, very bold individuals. The Sun in Aries is incredibly bold. It's incredibly courageous. It has a real courageous quality where it's not afraid to live life to the full. It's not afraid to live a big, loud life. It's not afraid to shine and show itself out to the world, kind of like Leo, but not so much, you know, in the ego mind. It's very, very independent. It wants to be independent, fiercely individualistic. It wants to individuate itself. It wants to be on its own with really what it does. So independence is a quality. It is authentic. It wants to be its real, genuine self no matter what. And this is me. Like right now in my life, I'm really, really stepping into my Aries energy of wanting to be my independent, sovereign self. Like, I want to be independent. You know, I want to be my true, authentic self on my YouTube channel, to the people in my life that I know, whom I know. You know, like, I want to be me, you know, and I don't want to, you know, really, you know, apologize for that. You know, so, I want to be the real me, that I am. And, you know, also, you know, for others' inspiration. You know, they want to act for the case of inspiring others. You know, Aries Sun individuals want to inspire others to be their best, most bold, authentic selves and live an authentic life. You know, like, they want to inspire others to, you know, to live that life, you know, for themselves. And they want to inspire them to be, you know, true to themselves. Like, Aries is a sign that, you know, at best does what's sovereign is. Sovereign does what's true to themselves and does what feels right to themselves. Like, they are known for, you know, being those kind of individuals who does not live a life for others. You know, they do it entirely for themselves. Like, I do my YouTube channel and all that for myself because I want to see those videos on my channel. I want to produce that kind of content. I want to do things my own way, and I don't want to be told what to do and how to do it. So, they are the initiators. Aries Sun individuals, are initiators. Ultimately, they want to, they want to start new things. They want to, begin. Like Aries begins again. Aries is a sign of new beginnings, fresh starts. They're cardinals, so they want to lead, and also they initiate. They get things off. They're really, really good at getting things off the ground, and making things happen. And in that way, where they initiate. So, they want to start things. They want to get things going. They have that, Aries Sun individuals, really have that fire, that spark, that passion, that drive to start things. And they're pioneers. They want to, begin again and looking up, it starts things for the very, very first time. They start things. They're the ones who start things. They blaze the trail. They're trailblazers. Aries are trailblazers, and they crave newness. They need newness. They need new experiences, new people, new situations to engage in and engage with in their lives. That's really what they're after, is for the new novelty to to be there. Is they need this new quality. They need this they need new things, fresh starts. And it's kind of like a fire. I keep saying over and over again how you need to constantly be feeding that fire in order for it to keep going. You need wood and whatever on that fire. So, to keep it burning. Otherwise, the fire's just going to die out, and it's not going to be, lit, and, well-organized fire anymore, really. So, they're very, very impatient. They carry this impatience where they want things right now. They want things in an instant. They don't want to wait on things. They want instant gratification. And so I did a video yesterday on Saturn Aries and how it can be very, very difficult for Saturn Aries individuals because, with that instant need for results, instant need for things to just happen in the spur of the moment and not waiting, not planning and being strategic and understanding that things do take time in life. If you really, really want what you want, then put in the work to achieve it. That's what Saturn says, because Saturn is really, really tuned in to the 3D reality, and Saturn reflects the 3D reality and its constraints and limitation. I think that knowing that Saturn does exist helps us appreciate, helps us just have compassion for and soften ourselves and make ourselves more gentle into the fact that, we do have a 3D reality with what we have going on in our lives, right now. And so there's this impatient quality. And they're always willing to fight. They're always willing to step up and, take a fight and fight their way through something. I mean, they're always willing to just fight this thing, like, fighting it. Like really, really, like if something is not going their way and if they're getting something that they don't want and that they don't like it, they're going to fight against it. They're going to fight against it until they get what they want and how they want to do it. And you have to be careful, Aries, because where is it coming from? Is it coming from a place of needing to prove yourself? Need to be the best, need to, or is it coming from a place of, I don't want to be suppressed, I don't want to be inhibited, I want to be true to myself? If it's coming from that soul-centered place and that true place, like that authentic place, then you're good. But if it's ego and, immature qualities, then that's where you can run into some problems. And so there's this need to be first with Aries energy. There is a a need to be first, a need to be the best at things. There's this need to really be first with what it intends to do in its own life, where it is first and it is really proving itself out into the world. And they want to be first. It's essential for Aries to be the first one. They want to win first place in a race. When I think of like the first astrologer, Deborah Silverman, sort of put Aries in this physical box. I just disagree with it. It's just an energetic, assertive, bold energy. That I am a more intellectual Aries. I express my Aries energy through words, communication, intellect, and all of that. But she was sort of put Aries as like being in a race. So in a race, think of like when you're in a race, you're running and you have all the other runners there, and you want to be first in the race. You want to be the first person to win that race. You want to be the first one to win. That's really huge. So Aries wants to be first. Wants to be wants to win. They have ideas that they just sort of start, like ideas that they begin in their own lives and they put into motion because of these creative, expressive, very strong ideas that they have. And then these ideas spread to what they want to do, and then they actually, Aries doesn't just think about it, doesn't just have the idea, but they act on it. They really pride themselves on acting on these ideas, because that's what they want to do, is have the idea going, and then it spreads, and then they just, act on it. And then it gets manifested into this beautiful thing, into this really great material thing. And so, they push through blocks to get their way. Any challenge, any limitation that comes up against them, that, if they are coming up against any limitation, at all, a roadblock, a setback, a scarcity, somebody in their way, a place that's in their way, or whatever it is, they're going to push through. They're going to charge through unapologetically, through that thing, in a way, with what they're doing. They will push through these blocks. They'll push through these constraints because they are the rim. They will sort of push through all these limitations and all these blocks to get in their way. Like, they're not afraid to get their way, and they're not afraid to push through, to burn through something in order to get what they want. They are so willing to get what they want in this life. So, they want someone to follow them. The really key thing with Aries is wanting someone to follow them and be with them, catching up with them, with them in a race. You want someone to be running alongside you in a race, and this is metaphorical. This could be a real race, like a physical race, or it could be a metaphorical race. But you want someone to be running with you because you want the company as you are free and authentic, free and easy, doing it your own thing. But you'll gladly go it alone, and you'll gladly run right ahead of the person and blaze right ahead of the person if they are not keeping up with you. Because what you want is you want people to keep up with you. There's this need for Aries to have those to keep up with them and run with them. But the downside of Aries is being selfish, being so self-centered that you're so focused on your own goals and what you want, and not really balancing it out in a soul-centered way, in a love and compassionate, considerate way towards the things that others want, the things that others value and believe, and their needs and their their desires, and all those kind of things like that. Like, it can really get it can really get uh, caught up in just me first, and what I want, and all the things that I want with my own goals, and all that. So they encourage others to be their best selves, and they want to inspire others. They want to uplift others to be their best selves, and they need attention. They need others to recognize them for who they truly, not like Leo, where they need the constant validation. They need the they base their entire self-worth and self-love and existence upon the group and the audience and what it thinks. Like, Aries is independent, and the thing I like about Aries as opposed to Leo is that they don't care what you think. They will just do it anyway. They will just burn through something anyway. And so they really they really don't care what others think of them. They're going to go through anyway and do what they want to do, and regardless, and they want to show how strong they truly are. They want to show how brave and bold that they truly are with themselves. And they need attention, but not the kind of Leo attention with the gifts and the applause and the praise with, "Oh, I'm doing so well. I'm really going on that stage and performing my heart out. I look really good. I did that thing really well in school. I did all these things. I said all these things." And basing that entirely upon the audience is not healthy for an Aries individual, or a Leo individual. And fortunately, Aries doesn't do that. So Aries is all about really settling for nothing less than you deserve. Nothing less than is meant for you to experience in this life. And it's like, don't settle for anything, any circumstance, or any person, or any type of situation that's anything less than you deserve, anything less than than you truly feel, that you want to do in your life. Not settling for nothing less than all these kind of things is really what this is all about. They are very courageous. They're very daring. They have a lot of bravery in them. They're very action oriented. They have a lot of action. They want to pursue action. They want to act. They want to be the action signs. They want to, they're all about taking action, and they want to be authentic to themselves when it comes to their self-expression. And they're all about self-expression, and whatever their self-expression is. Like, some can be more artistic, or some can be more, verbal self-expression. Like, my self-expression is me making these videos, and my, my YouTube channel, and my creative gifts and all that, to really freely just express myself on these videos, and so that's my own self-expression. And you may have your own as well. So they need self-expression. They need all kinds of ways of self-expressing themselves, with like communication, or speaking to the person, or making videos, or whatever the self-expression is. Like, that's my self-expression. There's this need for Aries to really to be first, because they want to they want to be first. They want to be the first at something. there's this need to be that they act, they sort of, what they do is they are the ones that take action. They are the ones that step up and take action towards what they decide that they want. They take action towards what they want while others are still thinking about it or in indecision or deciding it or contemplating it or whatever. They have a confident and they have a bold approach to life. They're very, very confident individuals. They're very sure of themselves. They love to take on challenges. They're really all about taking on all these kind of challenges with themselves, because that's really what they want. Is Aries loves a challenge. Aries loves a challenge in terms of like writing a book to take on, or fighting up against a person, or someone challenging them and challenging their beliefs and challenging their ways of being. They want to fight. They want to fight with this person and what they are doing, really. So, there's this need to take on challenges with a project or a job or an opportunity that comes into their lives, such as, something that they're taking on. They want to take on that challenge, and they want the opportunity to do new things. They need to do new things to constantly test out their creative energy and their spark energy with what they're doing. And they want the opportunities to do new things, with what they are deciding to do. And they want to take on new new endeavors. And they don't want to, they're all about, they say, I think that's very, very Aries thing to say, that when opportunity knocks, the universe wants you to answer. The universe wants you to open the door and take advantage of that opportunity. So, that's where it can really, really be. That's where it can really, really be really, really strong with that, is taking on this opportunity to do all these kind of things, because they want to take on all these opportunities. They want to take on all these new chances of being able to do all these things really, really easily. And yeah. And they want to be brave. They want to be the brave ones. They want to be the pioneers. And they want to take control of a situation. They want to be the ones that are in control of a of a situation. Because they're the cardinal fire signs. They want to be in control. They want to be the ones domineering and taking over the the conversation and all of that. And that's how they want to be. Is the ones that are have the reins of what they're doing. Because they want to be bold, and there's this constant need to be in control. Like, if they're not in control of a situation, they get very, very anxious and restless and antsy, and very, very down in themselves, not feeling so good about themselves. They will take control of a situation. They want to act on their instincts. What they want to do is, act on their instincts. They want to act on their instincts, with whatever they do and initiate. This need to act on your instincts. Act on that part of you that just knows, like, this is the way to go. This is what you do at this time. I shouldn't trust this person. I should interact more with this person. And And, truly expressing yourself, it's about really, it's about truly expressing yourself, without anyone telling you, what to do, really. That's what it can be, is, really, expressing yourself, without anyone, telling you what to do, when it comes to, your life and your, what you do in your life. So let me get into this point, because this is a really big point. You don't want anyone telling you how to be, how to live your life, what to do in your life, how to go about it, how to run it, and how to make, decisions and all that. So, you want to act, in the moment. You want to be spontaneous, in the moment. That's how you want to be. You don't want to plan out for things too much. Not overly planning. Not overly doing all these things, with that. So, they want to be spontaneous. They don't want to, overdo the spontaneity. That's how they want to be. And, the challenges, support, them to really make it very, very clear to them what their identity is, what their purpose is in their own lives. And it really helps them claim, who they truly are, in those kind of ways. And so, you want to show, how capable you are. Aries has this, real quality of just wanting to prove how capable they are and being the leader of their life, being the star of their life. They want to lead their life. And so they want to express, they're also very, very physical. Like Aries is a very, very physical sign, and they want to express themselves through physical activity. And that's really what they seek, is their physical activity, physical motivation, and, what they want to do, in that way, with whatever, they're doing there. And they kind of need, a lot of, to keep up their momentum, to make themselves, feel very, very strong with them, with what they are, doing. And, how they want to live their lives, they need, a lot of regular exercise and, physicality. They need, a lot of exercise and a lot of, physical energy, to help their mental and emotional health and well-being. That's what they really need, is this, is this way of having exercise, and really, needing a lot of, mental and, needing this really, really strongly. So this exercise really helps them with these things, with their, mental, emotional health and well-being. They need to outwardly express their physical energy. They need to, openly express this physical energy, out into the world. And they cannot sit on the energy. They need to, act on it. Aries cannot sit on the couch and just, just sit on their energy, their enthusiasm, what they want to do, their passion, their drive. They need to outwardly express it. They need to act on those ambitions that they have. They need to act on those desires that they have. And so that's really them, where when they act, they feel vitalized, they feel energetic, they feel like their life is going in a very, very good direction. And so it's really, really important for Aries Sun individuals to look out for, head-related issues, such as migraines or headaches or other head issues. Can really be very, very strong symptoms for Aries. And they want to act immediately. They want to act immediately. They want to act immediately, with what they are doing when it comes to conflict. And sort of their need to act immediately and do things very, very selfishly and, for themselves. Leads to conflict, where you're not considering others or opportunities to network with others. You're not considering, bonding with others, having collaboration with others, getting together and exchanging information, exchanging conversations. Exchanging, all this interaction when it comes to, just collaboration. So, this need to just act immediately, this need to, just to do things just right now, that need to just act right now can lead to conflict, can lead to conflict with others. Where you're not considering others or opportunities to, to network with them. Because that's, really where it is. These opportunities to collaborate, to get to others and work with others to achieve your common end goals. So the downside of this is selfishness, as I said before, thinking of your own needs before others, being very, very impatient with these needs, that wanting to get your way, with whatever you're doing. And there's an insensitivity to others' different needs. There's an insensitivity here to others, to others' needs and what they need on a mental, emotional, physical level. When you're so focused on your own needs and all that you're not, really considering, like, hey, what does this other person, need? And they want to, listen to others. They want to listen to others, as well as it's important for them to listen to others. Being open to others' opinions, being open to their, perspectives, as well as, leading in a way, as well as taking action in their own lives. It's about collaborating. Collaborating in a way, working together with others, bonding, understanding the other perspective, working with others, understanding where they're coming from, their opinions, all this kind of thing. While initiating, to have consequences, it's very important for them to understand the consequences of their actions. Understand that if they're going to act so rashly, act so impulsively, or whatever, with their actions. I mean, with what they're doing, with their with all that they're doing in terms of their actions. Then it's very, very important for their self-expression. It's very, very important for Aries self-expression to understand the consequences, of their actions. Because no one is exempt from the consequences of your actions, and so if you can act boldly, act bravely, act daringly, and have there needs to be an understanding of consequences. There needs to be an understanding that when you do something, there will be results from it. What you reap is what you sow, and to be able to be mindful of those consequences, be it positive or negative, with whatever they're doing. And what they want to do is they want to give someone the reins occasionally. It's very, very important for them to to give somebody the reins with what they're doing. To let them sort of take control in their own lives, and understanding that with great power comes great responsibility. Understanding that when you are in a position of power and leadership, and that requires a lot out of you. You have to manage people. You have to take control of all these details. You have to have all these sort of set duties and goals within that role of leadership. Once the sparks of the new initiative of what you once because Aries can initiate something. And once of that, once those sparks, die down, with what they're initiating, once, what they do, and once they get something going, they're very, very enthusiastic about it. Then it dies down, and it's hard to follow through. It's hard to, to follow through with with a goal when there's not the enthusiasm anymore, when there's not the passion anymore for that goal. When there's not that, that passion, that that gusto, that really, real sense of enthusiasm with that thing. Once it dies down, it becomes really, really hard to follow through with it. And they want to continue to follow through with that. It's very, very important to have a goal and then continue to follow through with whatever they're doing. And they have really, really strong survival instincts. That's really, really huge part of the Sun Aries energy, is having a lot of strong survival intentions behind them, because they're all about surviving. They're all about surviving in this world, and they want to survive. They need this is one of the shadows of Aries is actually over concern with survival, but they have a strong, because Aries is primal fire. It's the fire energy that wants to survive, and they have a very, very positive approach to life. And they have a very, very positive approach to life with what they're doing, and that's really where their mojo lies, is their positive approach to life. Aries looks at life all very, very positive. Looks at new opportunities, looks at new endeavors, looks at all these things of what they can achieve and accomplish, in their life. And that's how they really, really want to have this standing and this approach to whatever they're doing. They have this positive approach to whatever they decide they want to do in their lives, and they will go through it fully. They will go through this positivity fully. They will live it out fully. They will really view life in a very, very positive way, very, very optimistic, open way, where they see new opportunities, new goals, and they see something and they just want to act on it. So that is really the Sun in Aries and the natal birth chart. I hope that you enjoyed this video and got something out of it and found value from it. I will see you back on Friday talking about Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Then I'll talk about Uranus squaring the nodes. Then I'll talk about Venus in Leo. And then I'll talk about the new moon in Gemini happening on the 14th. So those 4 astrological events that I'll be sort of bunching up together, talking about with those podcast episodes. To take a break for a day, hopefully that will reset me, and hopefully I'll come back with new clarity with that. And so anyway, bye for now, everyone. I will see you in the next episode of the Cosmic Sky podcast.